little disclaimer that I, Mystic, and am employee of Wizards of the Coast on the D&D team. I love D&D, don't you?
Last time on Utopia podcast, the party went to the castle, had their weapons taken, and headed to the dungeon to fight Princess Ananoth and free her from the corruption that she is embraced by. After a struggle, shenanigans with keys, and the corruption hopping from Ananoth to Fern, the party is successful and are taken upstairs to the office of the attendant of the king to discuss what happened, what they know, and their reward. And that is where we find the party.
All make it to Gregor's office. It's a modest room. It's opposite the entry, opposite the ballroom that you had fought Guinevere in. There's bookshelves lining all of the walls and a large desk at the other end and some comfy couches on the other side. And as you all get settled around the room, Scylla, you see walking in with a tray of tea and biscuits, a woman about your size, the same familial-like features in her face, bright green hair, and she drops the tray on the floor when she sees you standing there.
Do I recognize her?
This is your sister.
Scylla freezes as the picture becomes clearer and just stops and won't go in any further.
Do you need help? Do you need help picking that up? Are you okay?
Yes. And she just stands up and turns and leaves the room and leaves everything on the ground where it was. And Gregor looks around. The service is getting worse and worse around here.
I didn't mean I'd pick it all up, but I suppose that'll...
Yeah, Livy helps.
Anyway. So, the guards gave me a very muddy description of what happened down there, and I would love it if you would fill in all of the blanks, please. And we will time skip as you tell your story. Just let me know what you leave out, if anything.
I think we bleep out the court.
For sure.
For sure. At least Livy just says that, like, Fern is an adventurer they recognize at the tavern, so they're familiar with Fern, but they don't say anything about the court. At least that's how Livy would tell it.
Maybe we could also leave out the details about the original plan being to bring the princess to the edge of death. Like, we had the plan all the time that we knew.
Yeah, no, I
we
agree.
had these claws that will work. I feel like we could leave that out.
You sure?
Kind of tarnishes the hero story a little bit.
And I'm not here.
Yeah, we make ourselves look as good as possible.
Okay. And Ananoth just kind of nods to the parts that she can. And once it's clear that Fern has nothing to do with this and was just trying to help, Gregor allows her to leave the castle, and Zeba continues to hold your hand through all of this and gives it a little squeeze She leaves the room. I'll see you back home, she says. All
Just
right.
a little tiny wave.
Well, we owe you a great debt. What would you like? Knightdom, sirdom, land, a keep, gold,
Hero titles.
hero titles. All
It's because those are
right.
earned.
Oh, I thought we did earn it. Is that why he was asking?
I mean, don't think that all of this won't be in the papers tomorrow.
It's a thing that, like, the public gives you. I think is what he's trying to say.
Ziba looks like you just told her that tomorrow is a national holiday where she gets presents.
Well, I would like it if you don't go to war with another country. That would be, considering I don't think it was, the other country was not responsible for this.
No, we don't have any hard evidence of that.
Okay.
He puts the orb on the table.
Did you tell him about the orb and what you saw in it?
Godfrey would.
Great. As you did that, Ziba, you look into your pack to find the crown as evidence and are unable to find it.
I'm just gonna quietly not say anything because maybe I misplaced it. And I don't want to get in trouble for just misplacing an important item.
I never really, resources but that's very selfish, never mind.
Either way, it sounds like there's a war coming, so we better prepare our troops, whether it's with Synthgrab or someone else, somewhere else. I'm not familiar with any active volcanoes on this continent and this landscape that you describe. But I am familiar with a great desert in the center of our country.
Yes.
Is it possible? So I used to work at the university, and our research books were limited to what was approved by the church. Would it be possible? Are the libraries in the castle more? Do they have more information regarding and previous gods and things like that, and about the Invisible War?
Is your wish to have access to the Royal Library as your reward?
Very much so, yes.
It's done. The rest of you.
Ziba has dumped the contents of her backpack on the ground and is just going through it.
There's lots of dead snakes in there. You all see her doing this.
Livy, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just looking for something. It's in here somewhere. It's fine. Do we have to leave? Do I need to pick this up? And just starts shoving things back in her bag.
We don't have to leave right now, but
we have to get home, right? She's waiting on us.
Yes, we'll talk about whatever you're looking for afterwards, okay?
Matilda, can I have some clean biscuits, please? He yells out to the room.
Biscuits?
But
Clean.
She dropped them on the floor.
Oh, I was like, do you serve dirty ones here? You gotta specify.
And the same woman comes in with a tray of biscuits and keeps her face towards the floor, sets down the tray lightly on the edge of the desk, and turns heel and walks out quickly.
As this happens, Scylla also turns her head and looks away.
Yeah. Ananoth and Baxter at this point. Is it okay if I go back to sleep? I feel like I got hit by a carriage.
Hey, Olivia goes up to her. So, are you a druid or a ranger?
Neither.
I mean,
I wasn't allowed
I
to
think-
practice magic. And she looks towards Gregor. She says that.
So Livy will whisper, I think you might have an affinity for it. And I think that's how this happened.
I'll tell that to my
So-
father.
Get some rest, okay? If you feel weird or odd, I suppose I'll be able to access the library, so talk to me if you need anything.
She just nods and heads up the stairs. Baxter follows behind.
Girl's a fucking tiger following her and she doesn't think she can do druid magic.
The rest of you, your reward,
Crazy.
it's the last matter we need to resolve here.
Well,
I might have something in mind, but I don't know if you might have one on hand or even have access to one. A sort of a magic spellbook. Like extra magic spellbook type item. Maybe.
Okay.
We can go over details another time.
No guarantees if I don't know what it is.
Oh, of course. I'll think on it and get you the right details.
You two? 3?
Scylla looks back up and refocuses her attention. 30 seconds of your time on the way out. That's all.
Fair. Fine.
Alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just take some gold.
1,000 gold. Got it. And you, child?
Can you? I don't know. Oh, there's so many options.
How about this? No one seems to use it anymore. He tosses you a bracelet. And it is the shape of snowflakes around the outside. If you're ever in need, once a day, give it 3 taps. Say avalanche, and you'll be surrounded by a icy form that may help a bit.
For snow fights? That's so cool! Thanks, sir!
It's a bracelet of armor of Agathis.
Same thing. It's gonna be
Oh.
a fight. There's probably gonna be snowmaid, so.
Very well, library it is. I'll lead you there.
Thank you.
Is everyone going with Livy to the library?
Morgus says yes.
I will.
Nerd.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of this room.
Book club.
Okay. Godfrey, Ziba?
Yeah, I was going to go to give Scylla her 30 seconds that she wanted.
I hate libraries.
Scylla's going to try and get that 30 seconds as we're like getting all the way out of here, just for.
Okay.
Cool. You all head.
Godfrey will pick up the orb back off the table before we go.
Of course, it's yours. You head into the library. It's under the stairs, down a little hallway, kind of adjacent to the ballroom on the back half of the building as you head down a small hall and turn to the left. Even more books, like 30-foot ceilings with stained glass windows at the top, a rounded dome to the ceiling. Comfy couches and furs, and another large desk at the end of the chair with large curtains opening to big windows. The moon is shining, receding a little bit from its full state a few days ago, but still very visible in the night skies. It's like 11. All right. Have at it. And he walks out. I'll be in my office for those 30 seconds before you leave. And he points to Scylla.
Maybe like you hear him makes like a yee sound as he like goes in.
And right as he's about to close the door, you hear a loud scream from the upstairs echo through the hallway. And an Oth's voice that you now recognize. And Gregory yells, "Guards! Guards!"
Yeah, Livy's also.
I'll go check it out and starts running. I've done enough running today.
Fucking royals. And Scylla's gonna run.
They need to make these freaking all these hallways so much shorter.
You run up the stairs. You see all the guards kind of standing awkwardly outside of the door. And as you cut through them into Enanoth's bedroom, you see a glowing archway next to her bed.
That's probably normal.
And a white-skinned, very pale-skinned, black-haired, beautiful blue embroidered coat, high black leather boots, bent over, panting, and Enanoth's just standing there, hands up, looking at them wide-eyed, and Baxter kind of crouched to pounce to bite. And the man is saying, "Don't shoot. God damn it. It's me," he says. And they all just like look around like, what the fuck is happening? He kind of gets his composure and he stands up and he straightens his shirt. And he puts up one hand and puts the other on his hip. "Recognize me now?" And he pulls his other hand down his body and he transforms into the form of King Thedonis.
Where have you been?
About that.
Like I look at the princess. Is she? What? Sorry.
Sort of been stuck. In an old home, shall we say.
Like a retirement facility?
No. A previous residence of mine and Enanoth's. And he kind of gestures over at Enanoth. And you see she's standing there, like, kind of squinting, like, what the fuck? And Baxter's just sitting there looking between the two of them, like, what's up? Hey, how's it going? The little leopard guy just sitting there, seemingly unfazed.
Princess, do you have any means of confirming that this is the king?
I mean, I guess she looks across the room. Tell me something only my father would know about me. And you see the person that has transformed into the king kind of shuffle their feet and cross their hands in front of them. Well, I will say that myself and your mother, very long ago, decided that we didn't want you to know magic against your will. And you fought us the whole way. And you didn't know that we knew that Guinevere was teaching you magics and that we were reading your journal. But we were, and I know that. And you know some magics, I believe. And Enanoth kind of shuffles uncomfortably and murmurs, "Yeah, that's probably him."
Yo, that's not cool.
That's
you don't
not
read
cool.
reading like a little kid's journal. That's not cool. Sorry, way off topic.
Maybe kids
Way more
deserve their
important
private
things to discuss, but a little messed up. Anyway,
There is a reason her mother and I are no longer together.
yeah. So Your Majesty. Livy bows.
Stand up, sir. Please, what is going on here? And also, we have a little bit of a situation on the other side of that wall. Well, the portal, rather.
You've got a number of situations on this side as well. Scylla looks over at Enanoth.
Great. She looks a little, disgruntled, but okay. She's kind of like, what?
What's up with the portal, Your Majesty?
Oh, yes. That is why I have been gone for so long. You see, I had this portal made as an emergency exit for myself and my family in case something bad were to ever happen. And I happened to go through it one day because I needed to set something up and get some old things and do something rather important in my old home. And funny enough, the portal was closed behind me and I couldn't get it open again.
Do you know who closed it behind you?
Well, no. I don't.
How did you
So
open
you
it?
just got back?
I've just got back. What day is it? What?
How long were you gone?
That's a great question.
I give the date.
The 37th of Fievel.
So you haven't been around at all.
For about a month.
You just got back now.
It's fine. He crosses his arms and kind of shifts back on his heels.
Livy will go to Marcus. Didn't you say you saw someone shapeshift from him to someone else this morning?
I didn't, but Godfrey did.
No, Godfrey. Godfrey, didn't you see that?
And did you have someone acting in your place in your stead, another person who's capable of shapeshifting like you do?
Shouldn't have been someone acting in my stead, but a lot of my staff are my they're doppelgangers or changelings, such as myself.
Anybody who typically handles war with neighboring countries in your stead while you're away?
Absolutely not. Is that something that's going on?
Yeah.
Have you been checking the paper? Are there papers where you are? Or is that what exactly? Where does the reach of this?
Really gets his journal, and he has paper clippings and notes that isn't like the Majesty see, but one of them is newspapers, and he gives one of the newspaper clippings to His Majesty.
Yeah, you can continue, Scylla.
I mean, that was effectively Scylla just really no newspapers. You haven't been no news at all.
No. You see, I was in an old castle of mine, which, just so happened to have fallen into the ocean about 600 years ago.
So you're
Yeah.
underwater?
Yes.
You didn't happen to notice a cyclops while you were
I
there,
did.
right?
How do you know about this?
The news?
There's news of a cyclops.
It might have emerged from the center of town and carved away into the ocean.
Ah,
Kind of destroyed a lot of people's homes.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what is on the other side of that portal.
Right. So is the portal going to stay open
It's closed for now, but
if someone were to go through it?
There were some people with the cyclops.
And you left them there?
Well, they also were trying to kill me and my friends.
Where are your friends?
I left them there, he says.
Ziba just looks at him with the most disgusted look. Like, utter disappointment.
Little girl,
Right.
it's okay. They can handle themselves. They are a coven.
You still left your friends behind.
Well, I came for help.
Scylla looks over at Ziba. I feel like that's not half as egregious as leaving his daughter behind.
Hey, that was not a
good point.
choice.
How did you manage to open the portal again?
Well, someone kind of owed me a favor.
And you
Who?
couldn't cash in on it until now.
Well, I made an assumption that everything was okay out here and that I would figure it out in time. And that was clearly an egregious error.
Your Majesty, there are people within your court who were and he actually pauses and goes to the princess. Is it okay if I tell your dad some of the stuff that happened with you while he was gone?
Scylla looks like she's winding up, if not.
Yeah.
I would prefer it if I didn't hear what you were about to say, if I'm honest, so I'm going to excuse myself. And she begins to walk through a side door that just takes her to the next room. Baxter kind of trots along lazily behind.
Good cat. So someone has been masquerading as you and has been keeping out of the public eye. Someone impersonated a priest of Mysheria, a person of demonic origin. They tried to summon a demon army. We stopped that. They possessed your daughter and had her do things against her will, attack people, and then blamed a neighboring country and said there was druids. And we're on the brink of war.
He looks from you, Livy, to the guards that are standing at the back of the room towards the door. Have you seen me around? And the guards all kind of you hear the clatter of armor as they stand up a little straighter and adjust their weapons. Not technically, sir, one of them says. So who was giving the orders? Who was making these decrees? Nothing is official without the seal of the king on a piece of paper, a formal signature, the seal of the king, that's locked away. Well, we did receive letters with your seal and signature telling us to rally troops for a war. And also removing all of the guards from the desert, kind of clearing out Fort Mercer. The king just looks. We need to find whomever has been masquerading as me. If what you say is true, my guess is that whomever was trying to summon demons to this plane is trying to destabilize our entire government for some reason. And by removing troops from the desert and Fort Mercer, they've opened a hole in the center of our country.
Also, might do you know Medusa, Your Majesty?
Stiffens at that, like stands straight up, and the guise that is King Thedonis falls. And you once again see the pale-skinned, heavy, dark black circles under his eyes, black tussle of hair. What do you know of Medusa?
She and another demigod might be responsible for a lot of this.
And she's marching an army from where she is into the desert right now.
We did think we killed her in a dream once. It didn't seem to stick, though.
This portal will hold closed for a while longer, as long as my friend, and he kind of snaps. And you look over and you see a very beautifully, almost Grecian-like robed, deep purple and gold-fringed, white-furred tabaxi woman stride through the room, almost appearing as if they've been there the whole time, Cheshire cat style, like eyes first, then whiskers and nose, kind of spiraling around and down to her paws on the floor. Gives him a nod, stands in front of the portal. Let's go somewhere private, he says. Begins to stride past the guards, who just clank their armor together again, standing at attention as he moves through the doorway.
Is that an intention for us to meet him in private?
Yes.
I think it's best that I sit this one out while you all talk.
Okay. That's probably...
Godfrey, why don't you, thinking about taking a walk anywhere around the halls at all?
I could go back to the library.
Yeah, might be a good day to take in the architecture.
Got it. If he's allowed, okay. Godfrey will go start wandering.
Yeah, no one's going to stop you. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to follow, because I'm very curious.
Follow the king?
Yeah, follow the king.
Mm-hmm.
For once, I'm not going to a library.
Weirdly disheveled old man.
Scylla stays following at the back.
Cool. Great. I think Morgus would go with Godfrey if Godfrey would let him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great. As you, Godfrey, Morgus kind of slowly wander through the upper level where Enanoth's room is, the rest of the party follows the king down the stairs, back down the hallway you were once in, past Gregor's office, past the door to the library, to the next room, the adjacent room, where at the back there is a large desk and a big knit woolen rug and a very intricate tapestry that has a bunch of symbols around and inside these different spherical forms. And he goes to the desk. He sits down. He says, "Open." And this drawer just shoots out very quickly. He shuffles around. It's gone. The seal is not here. Who could get around my magic? He's kind of mumbling to himself.
Who was that? Oh, Godfrey's not here. Our friend Godfrey said he, who was that? What was the name of the guy who led us into the dungeon?
David.
Gregor.
David.
Our friend Godfrey said when we were walking up, he saw a person who looked like you turn into David. And David is the one when people were trying to cure your daughter, he forced us to go to her without weapons, despite the increasing body count.
Your Highness, typically I'm really only hired as the heavy, but your magic that you're using, that whole open lock, how secure would you say that really is as far as, access to other people?
Well, that's part of why I wanted to bring you here. And he throws his legs over the edge of one of the chairs and crosses them, and his boots kind of shine. He doesn't look like he's been in any kind of a fight. And he pulls a lyre seemingly out of nowhere, starts to strum it. And it begins to permeate all of your ears. It is the most beautiful and complex piece of music you have ever heard in your life. And it is the background to him saying, "You mentioned you've been allied with, or at least in speaking terms with Medusa, is that correct?"
We've seen her briefly, and we saw another demigoddess who's aligned with her.
Who would that be?
Mystic, how dare you on bad at names? What is wrong with you? Gotta get my notes up.
Good jig. Overview with a G, baby.
Thinking about
I
Nick
think.
Cerebus.
I have the notes. It's like the goddess of darkness and edginess.
I thought we were talking
binary.
about the archer chick.
No. That's the
Maya.
That's Maya, and also the huntress.
One, isn't it?
They're full goddesses. I'm talking about the half god, who like the little cousin,
Oh God.
who's the god of darkness and edginess and vampires.
Nyx, Erebus.
Erebus?
They're full god.
Nyx,
They are full
and Erebus.
Full strength, full power.
Down somewhere.
Yo, this is why you need the remembering feat. Okay, I'm pulling it.
The king keeps playing.
Whoa. We're trying to think about it.
Who else have you spoken to that claims to be of a higher guild?
They are the god of
Me.
vengeance of.
You? And he doesn't miss a note. He just keeps playing.
Persephone. Twin sister. I swear.
I don't remember asking for like any of their names.
Medusa.
Really?
You've met Maya, Erebus, and Nyx.
I was knocked out the first half with
Nyx.
Maya. I don't know if
Nyx. If their name is Nyx, I literally just found them. A shapeshifter, a blood drinker.
Yeah.
They are god of the night and also being a petty bitch.
Sure, yes.
That's how we refer to Nyx too. The petty bitch one. Because we're all staying there trying to think of the name.
That's so fascinating that you have come into contact with so many, and yet you cannot notice one right in front of your face.
Fuck off.
Are you
Really?
also friends with the petty bitch?
He's just playing the most beautiful tune you have ever heard in your life.
Wait.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
I don't know if Zibbo would be impressed.
I'm not. I've been over this. I was like, like, how'd you get up there? They like didn't even do anything. And I'm like, I think being a hero is a bit cooler, but all right. Have your fun.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Reem. I am also known as King Thedonis. Brother to Maya, whom you seem to have met, and cousin of Nyx.
Livy
You, like,
drops
earn that
everything.
status? Were you
His mouth
promoted?
is like open.
Did I what, young one?
Did you earn that status? Like, were you promoted? Like,
Well, you see, everyone just kind of disappeared, and they thought I was dead when my castle fell into the sea, so I just saw an opportunity.
So you wouldn't.
I'm more
that was
confused than
literally.
impressed.
That was.
what?
What?
Livy, fill in the blanks. Someone.
What?
How long? You're. Sorry. Okay. I'm a historian who studies these. I guess.
No, he kind of stops playing rather abruptly when you say this. I fear if I tell you much more, I might blow your mind.
Literally?
Can we just think of the dichotomy here of Livy's like, oh my gosh! And then Elizabeth was like, what have you done?
And Scylla's just given like the
he's
sick
like-
guy in the background.
You're the
Scylla, after looking quite
Yourself
perplexed after some time, and after Reem says, I fear I'd blow your mind if I say much more, Scylla goes, I'm surprised you've said this much already for just having found us in your daughter's room.
Oh, if I didn't have the ability to trust folks, I wouldn't be where I am. Who am I to judge people's lives or their wills? That's why I made Utopia. That's why I made this Utopia that is Abkanor. People can do what they want, come and go, have all the
here by
everything they
dumb
need.
luck.
My king's a god.
Literally just
Or my
said
prince is a
everyone
half god.
disappeared and you just ended up here.
Well, it was a little bit by chance, and also very much of my own doing.
Sorry,
I still don't feel like you're right.
What else do you know?
They're trying to kill you.
I have gathered that, yes. I
Yes.
am not as dumb as some of my siblings.
We don't know if Maya is okay. They've tried to kill your sister, and we don't know. She told us to run, and we haven't seen her since.
That's very unlike her to tell you to run.
She
Sure
kind of
will.
went through a bit of a development.
Interesting.
Your
Also,
cousin's giving
she's
our friends
very
some
lonely.
sleeping issues.
Sleeping issues? You sure that's not my brother?
Exactly how much family are we dealing with?
Oh, it's
here?
very large.
Fantastic. I say sleeping issues. I think it's a great deal more than that. The sleeping thing is really just a side effect of the horrors that have been bestowed upon our friend.
Is he
by
alive?
your cousin. You saw him?
The one with the face and the coat and the hat and the ponytail?
Can we use names? I'm just having a little trouble.
His name is Godfrey.
Godfrey, our friend.
And
If
your
there's-
brother is
Which one?
the one we're talking about. That's why I'm trying to follow.
Oh, my brother, Rudy, is the god of sleep.
A Rudy. Got it.
He has had a little bit of Well, let's start from the beginning, all right?
Dibba sits down on the rug like it's story time and it's like just looks up at
Scylla pulls over a chair and turns it like back, like around and sits on it backwards.
Yeah.
Can I write any of this down, like at all?
Sure. Are you working for the Forgotten Ones?
Have
No.
met them.
Do you,
Kind of.
are you, do you know the Forgotten Ones?
Of course.
Of course. Scylla reaches, do I still have that note or did I give that to someone?
No, I think you still have it. The one about Nonvos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fished it out of her back pocket.
Oh. Huh. Growing in power, I see. All right.
Libby, you want to hang on to this? Livy, do you want to hang on to this?
Oh, yes. He puts it back in his notebook.
Well, okay. Long ago, not very far away, there was a war. And during that war, I found myself the victim of a home horror in which my home on the castle was cut off its cliff it resided on and plummeted into the ocean. I was loosely aware of the fact that my father had tasked one of my siblings with stopping the war by capturing our godly powers and memories inside of mundane items. So, I stayed under the water, used a little magic, made an air pocket, hung out with friends, caught some fish. A few 100 years went by, probably. And then I decided to come up. I got bored. You know, you can only play songs for the same people over and over again before they start to placate to you, you know? And, when I came up, this world was in a little bit of shambles. So I said, why not do good? And I took over as king, married myself a lovely sea elf. Fantastic woman. Did not see eye to eye on raising our daughter, and so we have since split. Ananoth does not know any of this. She does not know that I am a god. She also did not know I was anything other than the form that is King Thedonis until this day, so I'm sure she's quite confused. And also, I am very disheartened to hear what has happened to her while I have been gone. All of this to say, that war I spoke of that caused my home to plummet into the ocean was a war between gods on a plane not here. Its echoes ricocheted through the dimensions. You all say you were fighting invisible adversaries, but they were very much visible on other planes. And the ricochets of a war of the gods imbued their swords, their lances, and arrows with power that allowed them to cut down your enemies here. And of course, enemies is a loose term here when we're talking about, you know, sleeping people in their homes and an unexpected thing that happens in war. But
I understand.
Go ahead.
I understand that the fashion of the court tends to be a little bit tighter in areas where circulation is crucial to cognitive function. All this talk about gods. And Scylla looks around looking for any recognition of faith to Mysteria amongst her party.
Livy gives a very apologetic look. You were asleep for hundreds of years. Do you mind me asking, were you up by the time? Were you up before or after the 100-Year War was underway or during?
Oh, it was over by the time I came up.
So you don't know. Can we ask you a little bit about Mysteria? Would that be okay?
Mysteria? Have you spoken to her?
No, that's actually
Did you get
no
the
one
whole
knows what
follow
she-
your heart?
So that
No.
What was she like?
You didn't? Huh.
No one knows what she.
I thought she
Is-
set up a voicemail.
I don't get anything. I never do, but that's
She set up a voicemail? What is a voicemail?
Or
It's nothing to worry about.
Just my
Praise my Shiria, yes. But what I was trying to say is that the only reason the war stopped is because someone was tasked with putting all the gods to sleep so that we would stop fighting. Except I wasn't fighting, I was just,
What would happen? You said that they put their powers in like mundane objects. What if they got that object back?
Oh, they would come back to life with full power.
Is this a bad time to mention that I'm missing Medusa's crown?
That would be a little,
I swear it was in here. Starts digging through the backpack again. It was in here. I swear. Like this morning when I packed it, I swear it was in here. The backpack has not been off my back since, and I don't know where it went. It's not in here. It's just like dumping things on this very nice carpet.
I have missed so much. And with that, we're going to transition from this group over to Godfrey and Morgus, who we kind of left lingering, wandering slowly through the castle.
I guess Godfrey's just quiet and self-conflicted with the things that he's gone through tonight. He's just kind of... But he did manage to pick up a little bit of the hint that Scylla was trying to drop. So instead of just going to the library, he's just going to pace the corridors and see if he overhears anything interesting or important or pertinent.
Yeah. Your perception's high enough, I would say. While you're walking through the corridors, you watch a guard come out of one of the rooms, and they fumble with some keys, but they don't lock the door. And they say to one that's standing outside, Guinevere's room's fine. Don't understand why I haven't cleaned this out yet. And they both walk down the stairs, leaving the door unattended. You hear light music coming from the room that was next to Enanoth's. Almost, it's starts and stops the way that it does when someone's playing the piano rather than like listening to a radio or something. And otherwise, it's pretty silent. It's pretty late at night. Y'all didn't come to the castle until like 6, 7 p.m. It's probably 2, 3 in the morning.
I guess Godfrey will kind of nudge Morgus a little bit and gesture towards what was Guinevere's room, is what they said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he'll go in, trying to be a little bit sneaky about it.
And Morgus will follow. Give me a stealth check.
Pretty good. 23.
Oh my gosh. Morgus's stealth is at disadvantage because he wears armor. And I rolled a natural 20! And a 2.
Ooh. Oh.
He tries, but you hear he's just clanking. There's no guards around, but he closes the door behind you. What are we looking for?
Just looking around.
All
I suppose
right.
this was Guinevere's room, and she was changed.
True. I'll take the closet. You take the desk. And then in front of you, Godfrey, you see like a desk with lots of papers on it and drawers. And then over to the right, there's like a little tiny alcove with shelving for clothes.
Okay. Godfrey will do his best to look around, see if there's anything that catches his eye.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Ooh, it's a 4 on the dice for a 3 total.
Oof. Great. You find a bunch of papers that would make sense. They're on the top of the desk. Different ledgers of accounting of food rations, new clothes, books for the acolytes, standard school type items and church management items. And you see that there are 2 drawers on the right side of the desk under the desktop. One of them is locked. The second one, you open it and you find this like bright yellow knit cap that looks almost too small, like it wouldn't ever fit on your head. And it kind of, as you pull it out, if you want to touch it and pull it out, it kind of glistens with like this silvery sparkle of magic.
Morgus, I've found something.
Hi.
Some knitting work.
I found this key with an 18. Morgus finds a box in the closet that has a few letters in it and a big metal key, and he hands it to you.
Okay. I see if that fits in the locked drawer.
It does. And you're able to open it. You find another copy of the book that you got originally on summoning demons. And you also find an envelope that's filled with parchment written in a strange language. But they're all signed the same name, and they all have a very similar handwriting style. I found these in the box too, and he holds up 2 vials. Seem like magic.
Right. Is it moral for us to take these things from this place? I mean, the letters, I think we could point to whoever was corrupting Guinevere in the first place, but the magic stuff doesn't seem to be ours.
She's not using it.
I'll leave that up to you then. Any idea what this cap does?
I can sit with it for a while. Can't get the accent.
I love Australian British Morgus.
Maybe let's sit with it in the library.
All right.
I'll collect the papers and stuff.
Great. That is it. Thank you so much for listening. The February stream is coming up right around the corner. If you're not following us on their socials, be sure to follow us there. We're announcing all of the guest cast members, showcasing the art, showcasing what everyone's playing. This is a Thirsty Sword Lesbian one-shot adventure that is a dinner party turn murder mystery. Ironically, this was all planned before Glass Onion came out, so, you know, maybe it's a collective hive mind. Other than that, we're approaching the end of season 1 of Utopia. We just have a few episodes left. I hope you're enjoying. Like, subscribe, follow us, share, join us on Twitch and YouTube for that stream. And also for live playouts of this episode, if you're listening to a podcast version, we do have video versions that play out every Monday on our Twitch and YouTube channels with comments. You can collaborate with the community and comment in real time if you'd like. Intro and outro by Nolan Clock. Everything else by myself, Mystic Music is the cast. I hope you have a great day.